Clemson bringing in a host of talented players. A lot of people excited about Corey and Gibson. We got Jason Priester on the line from allclemsontigers.com to break down where we stand in recruiting. Jason, what's going on today?
Oh, not a whole lot. Typical Monday, getting prepared to head up to Charlotte for the ACC kickoff, man.
Sounds good. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Charlotte with Clemson and the rest of the ACC. Well, we wanted to get the lowdown on the 12th rated cornerback in the country, top 25 rated player in the state of Texas, and a couple other recent commits here in the last week to 10 days. But we'll start with Corey and Gibson.
Yeah, this is a big time get here, man. He is one of the better cornerbacks in this class. Picked up his offer back in the spring after an unofficial visit, returned for the spring game, and I'll be honest, I thought he might commit back then at the spring game. I think he was close then. For whatever reason, decided not to do it. Came back for the big official visit weekend in June. I thought he was a guy that could potentially shut it down, not take any more visits. Didn't play out that way. Went on to take some more visits, including Ohio State, Texas. A lot of late buzz surrounding Texas over these last few weeks. A lot of people had him pegged for Texas. And, after touching base with him a little bit today, I don't think it was ever that close. It kind of sounds like Clemson, he always knew Clemson was where he wanted to be. And this was more of a type deal where he was just doing his due diligence, following through with all his visits and just being sure. Clemson's fifth defensive back take in this class. He joins corner Tavoy Fegan, Ashton Hampton, who is another cornerback who I think can play nickel or safety. He's that versatile, but Gibson is kind of on a whole different level to me. He's going to need a little bulk when he gets to the next level. He's listed at 170 pounds now, but he brings speed that some of these other guys don't have. That just his closing speed is so impressive, man. If you watch his film, it's like he almost toys with opposing quarterbacks sometimes. He gives his receiver cushion, daring the quarterback to throw, and he just makes up so much ground in such a short amount of time. He is going to bring a ton of speed to the back end of that Clemson defense.
Jason, you brought up Hampton. So he comes out of Florida. He was roughly a top 100 player in the state of Florida, listed as an athlete. You're saying that he's going to play defense. And anytime I see that athlete designation, I'm thinking, so there's somebody out there that may look at him as an offensive player. But for Clemson, he's definitely a defender.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a defensive back. It's just a matter of, where they see him fitting in. Again, I think he brings that versatility. I think he could play corner, nickel, safety. I think he's a guy that could thrive in that nickel role that Clemson employs in that defensive scheme. But also a guy that I think is a little underrated. He kind of flew under the radar for a while. Typical Mike Reed corner, long, athletic. I think there's a lot to like about this kid. Don't pay too much attention to the recruiting rankings.
The edge rusher, don't know how to pronounce his last name. Adam, edge rusher out of Florida. Kasaya.
Adam Kasaya.
Okay.
I think that's how you say it. A kid that's worked out at camp the past 2 years for Clemson was a Minnesota commitment. Had been for a few weeks, So the fact that he's worked out at camp, the coaching staff at Clemson is very familiar with him. He came back, worked out again this year. I think there was some work done behind the scenes. He announces his decommitment from Minnesota, announces his offer almost immediately thereafter, and he's committed the next day. I think this is one of those cases where Kasaya always knew where he wanted to go. And if he had the opportunity, he was not going to turn it down. A lot of length, 6'7", only 230 pounds. He's going to need to add a little weight. Probably more of a developmental type guy. He's going to need some time when he gets to school. It's a little bit raw, but he's got an explosive first step. If you watch his film, you can see he's got some tools to work with, man. He's a very interesting take. Still leaves Clemson needing one more in this class, though.
Here we are at the end of July. Fall camp starts in about a week. in a few days. Where do you think the coaching staff goes next? Do you have any reads on anybody that could be coming in here next?
Clemson's, they still need a couple more offensive linemen. Only have the one in Ronan O'Connell. They have not had much luck with offensive linemen in this class. They're going to eventually be 1 for 9 probably on guys that they, the 3 in-state guys they offered early in the cycle and the 6 guys they brought in for the official visit weekend. Looks like they're only going to end up with one. Only one left out there still uncommitted, Jamison Riggs. I don't even track him anymore. Looks like a Auburn, Georgia Tech battle. He's a Georgia Tech legacy. I can see him ending up there. But Clemson handed out a new offer last week, Elijah Thurman. We'll see if they can get him here for a visit in the fall. Still would like to take one more, though. Outside of that, you need an end, one more end. You need one more linebacker due to the dismissal of T.J. Dudley last week. I could possibly see him add another wide receiver. Don't think that's set in stone. Will Taylor deciding to play baseball full-time. I think a lot of us kind of saw that coming, so I don't think that caught the coaches by surprise. But, if they find a guy they like, I can see them adding one more receiver to an already loaded receiver class with Bryant Westco and TJ Moore.